Hello, everyone. Jose here with Case Status, recording this video for you all to walk through the Case Status platform and the integration with Neos and how Case Status and Neos truly act better together. Today, we're going to really focus on just three key areas. One will be creating more operational efficiency, both internally with your staff and then externally with your clients. Two will be micro-targeting client satisfaction to look for more opportunities for reviews, referrals, and general insight. And three will be generating more marketing material to current and closed business. If you have any questions or would like a specific solution demonstration tied to your firm and your case types to go over other features, please do not hesitate to reach out. Now, to set the stage, to give you a good understanding of what we're looking at here, on the right side of the screen, I can see the Case Status web portal version of the platform of what it's going to look like specifically to your staff team. Very simple, very straightforward, where I can see the client, the primary user, the case manager, and the practice area. I also have Neos here pulled up. We will talk about what the Neos integration entails and what a day-to-day will look like within Neos and Case Status. And then over here on the left side of the screen is the actual mobile application version of the platform, of what the platform will look like specifically for your clients. This is my actual phone. As you can see here, it's a live setting. Client downloads the app tomorrow. This is exactly what it's going to look like for them. So keep in mind that left side will be the client side and right side will be the staff side. Now, hopefully you've noticed by now that the mobile application and the web portal will be branded with your firm's logo and color scheme. We will take your logo, your background color on the application and brand the application and the web portal to really act as an extension of your practice. A unique experience that your clients are not used to getting, especially in the legal field, a key differentiator between you and other firms in the area. And I think it just matches today's day and age where you can, track an Amazon package, you can handle complex banking transactions. You should be able to track your legal case through an application as well. Through the mobile application version of the platform, we're currently seeing around a 70 to 85% adoption rate. Now, very high amount of adoption, very large adoption there for the client and through the application. And a big reason for that high adoption is really just how easy it is for a client to download the mobile application. Your client receives a text message letting them know that you are using Case Status, inviting them into the Case Status platform. The message could ultimately say anything you'd like, where there will be a link to the App Store for the client to hit the link. It redirects them to the App Store, to the Case Status app, where once they download it, all they need to do is enter their cell phone number, a verification code, and that is it. No need for any sort of emails or passwords or any extra credentials on there. Clients may not remember what those emails are. They may not remember their credentials. They may not have access to a computer, but they definitely have access to a cell phone or a smartphone. So really focusing on that mobile piece and that ease of use to download the application is key to that high adoption. Now, that other 15, 20% of people that are not downloading Case Status are still going to receive every single message, update, document via text messaging so that they can text you right back and forth like a regular texting thread. Focusing on the mobile piece is huge. Really meeting your clients where they expect to be met is a key indicator there for high adoption through the platform. We do have the application translated into Spanish as well. If your clients have their phone set to the Spanish setting, then it will automatically translate the application into Spanish, where all you would need would be Spanish-specific journeys that we will talk about here in a second. And then we also have a live translation feature where we can translate over 130 languages, both inbound and outbound communication, that we could always dive deeper into through another recording or a specific phone call with your firm. Now, we're really going to be focusing on the operational efficiency here through the mobile application and the integration to Neos. Give your clients this one peace of mind, this one-stop shop, so that they can see everything that's going on with their case and have this access they've never truly had before, but also give your staff members the time back to ultimately work on their day-to-day, decrease the amount of inbound traffic that's coming in. And the application does exactly that. from the client, and I can see as the client, really the answer to my number one question: what's going on? What's happening? What's my status on my case? I can see that I'm on a personal injury case. I have a checklist item here. My current status is treating. If I hit this more button, I can see, thanks for trusting us with your case. Please view our welcome video, giving me, the client, a nice overview of what exactly is happening in the stage of the case, but also providing this nice visual aid below. I can see that I'm on stage 1 out of the 6. I have this access into my client journey that I've never had before. But what we really want to focus on is giving clients this access from start to finish. And so a client is going to have access to this process tab that's going to walk them through what that journey looks like from start to finish. I can see that 1 is treating, 2 is released from treatment, 3 is attorney review, 4 is negotiation, 5 is settled, 6 is escrow, and then case closed. Walking client through this process so that they could answer their own questions, build this muscle memory for the client to log in as opposed to calling in, and really set the expectations from day 1. Now, the first piece of the integration will be the actual creation of a case and the actual syncing of stages with the checklist items that are a part of Neos as well. We want to set this up so that as you're creating the case in Neos, the case automatically gets created in the case status platform. We have a nightly sync that connects with Neos every night to sync new cases that come in, but we can also set up the case status platform to manually push the actual cases through this sync with Neos button. So we make that portion very simple, very easy to eliminate that double entry of creating a case in 2 different areas. Now, we also want to make sure that as you make updates in Neos, that automatically updates the case in case status. And so we take advantage of the checklist items that are utilized in Neos to then update the case stage in the case status platform as you're remaining in the Neos platform. So we can see here that I have a couple of checklist items here that are mapped to these specific stages in case status. I could check off this checklist item for treating to make sure that treating is done, that we are now into the next stage of the case, so that when I make that sync, and in this case, I will manually sync the case so that we don't have to wait for the nightly sync, and so that you can have a general idea of what it's going to look like from the client end. But then if I refresh the application, we'll see here that the client has now been updated to stage 2 of their case. So making it extremely simple, straightforward, where most of your day-to-day will remain here in Neos when it comes to updating the actual stage, checking off a checklist item, and knowing that it will automatically update on the case status side as well. So really provide that efficiency both internally for the client, for the staff, and then externally for the client so that they're getting these instant updates. The next big piece to creating more operational efficiency is really going to be centralizing the communication. Have one place for the client, have one place for the staff so that they can communicate back and forth and have this single source of truth and visibility throughout the entirety of the case. The clients are going to have this messages tab where they can see every single message, every update, every document here on the messages tab. As I mentioned earlier, if the client does not download the app, they will still receive everything via text. All your client is doing is just hitting send a message here. They can type their message out. They can add any sort of images or videos or media files or PDFs or anything. Once that message or document is going to be sent, that will then come into the case status platform where I will be able to receive all of the messages and documents in one location, but then it's also going to be syncing back into the Neos platform as well. Our messages are going to be syncing back into Neos every 2 minutes, and then our documents are going to be syncing back into Neos every 20 minutes. The messages will be coming back into Neos in the notes section of the case, where you can see that it's coming from case status, which with a message from case status, and then the documents will be coming back into the documents section of the case as well. When responding back to clients through the case status platform, all you're doing is hitting send a message. You can see that we can bold, italicize, underline, and any sort of media links on here. We have a translation feature on here as well, where if you toggle the feature on, we can walk through what that looks like with live messaging. We also have this concept of message templates where you could have go-to messages baked within the actual case status platform. Maybe they're answers to common questions or a review link that you like sending, the invite message, or any sort of links that you like sending out as well. But we also really want to automate as much of your messaging as much as possible to create those automatic touch points. So if I go into the case status setting and create and go to my practice area settings, I have the personal injury journey that I've essentially brought over from the Neos platform. We will take the case type from Neos, where all you're doing is creating those stages that you would like the client to have access to. Where as you're creating these stages, we're going to be able to create the automated messages that live within each stage. I can create automation templates for the no case change, the famous no update, where as a message, as nothing is happening through the case after a specific amount of time, a message can get sent out weekly, monthly, twice monthly, letting the client know we're working on your case, no updates to report. If you have any questions, message us on case status. But more importantly, create this automated message so that it lives in specific stages of the case, so that I can have this message live specifically in the treating phase, but as I move to release from treatment, I can have the message say something entirely different. So a nice safety net and a backup so that we can complement that monthly check-in call that a firm may have. We also have automations for recurring messages, date-based messaging. We get the date of birth from Neos, and so we have an automated birthday message that we can send out to clients, those little things that really go a long way. We have single message automation so that as a case goes from one stage to the next, we can follow up with a message, maybe video, some more collateral, maybe more material, a deep dive into that actual stage. And then we also have single message automation based off of Net Promoter Scores. Measuring client satisfaction throughout the entirety of the case is extremely important to have that general insight on your client and have that opportunity for any sort of reviews, referrals, or any sort of course correcting. So as a case is moving from stage to stage within the case status platform, and that is our trigger when it goes from one stage to the next, your client is going to be required to rate their experience from a 0 to 10 Net Promoter Score. So we can see that I went to a case and I can see here that it asks me as the client, how likely to refer the user to a friend or a colleague. The client is required to enter in a 0 to 10 score, where once they enter in that score, they have the option to leave any sort of feedback. Now, this information isn't going anywhere. It's for your eyes only. You have this access to use this data that you've never really had before to, again, look for those opportunities and have that general insight. I can now go back to my single message automation based off of Net Promoter Scores to create very simple rules for my team, where I can set up something along the lines of my 9 and 10s or my promoter scores that leave me these scores in these 3 specific stages of my case. I want them to automatically get a message with my Google Business account, my Avvo link, my Super Lawyer link, because we have the data to support that they will leave a good review. On the flip side, we can set automations for detractor scores, where all of my 7s or below in every single stage of the case automatically gets a message letting them know, we apologize. What's going on? It looks like we weren't able to meet your expectations. But truly catching this data as that we can convert that into a positive score by the end of the case. And more importantly, strike while the iron's hot. If we have a client providing good NPS data to the firm, why wait until the end of the case to send that opportunity? We like using the Net Promoter Score automations as best practice when it comes to our referral opportunities as well. The client is going to have access to this Your Team tab that's going to walk the client through every single staff member that's working on the case. We go off of the actual attorney and case managers that are assigned in Neos so that it pulls up in the Your Team tab in case status, where each main attorney on the case or primary attorney on the case will have this refer button on here. So the client can very easily just hit this refer button, pull up that contact info into a card so that I can send it as a text, as an email, as a note to really whoever I would like. And so fortifying that referral effort, providing another opportunity for that single message automation, and really having this automation working for you in the background to make your lives a lot easier as you're going about your day-to-day within the Neos platform. One of the last things I wanted to touch on was going to be our mass messaging piece and making it really easy to reach out to all of your clients at once and filter that messaging so that we can have specific campaigns sent. Through the case status platform, I can select this very first box here where it will give me options for some bulk actions where I can send a message to every single client for any sort of marketing material, Facebook post, blog post, newsletter, community outreach, or anything that you would like. We can still use the bold, italicized, underline, add any sort of media links or message templates on here, but we could also filter off of the specific practice areas or case types that we pull in from Neos. I may want to reach out to just my mediation cases. Maybe I want to reach out to just my Social Security. Filter off of the date. We can filter off of the status, the net promoter score, the messaging, who's opened the app and who hasn't, but then more importantly, who's open and who's closed. And so clients that are no longer active, we can continue this communication to the client where they're still going to have full functionality into the application to truly look for more opportunities for any sort of relevancy there, any sort of referral opportunities, and any sort of marketing material that you'd like to send out to them. We'd love to walk you through a little bit more detail through the case status platform and talk about some other features that we weren't able to talk about, like live message translation, advanced analytic dashboards, client activity tracking, and just more automation fortification. So if you'd like to learn more, please feel free to reach out. Would love to give you guys more of a specific demonstration to your firm. Thanks.